On the edge of a white savanna, under the burning sun, a young deer named Lumo wandered restlessly. His legs were tired, his stomach rumbled with hunger. All morning he had searched for food, but the land was dry and the grass was brittle. At last, Lumo spotted a patch of fresh green shoots near the river bank. His eyes sparkled. He rushed forward, ready to eat, when suddenly a voice came from the shadows. Be careful, little one, said a jackal with clever eyes. That grass belongs to the crocodiles. The moment you bend down, they will drag you into the water. Don't risk your life for a few bites. Lumo froze, fear gripping his chest. He stepped back quickly, his hunger forgotten. Thank you, friend, he said gratefully. I might have lost my life today. The jackal smiled warmly. Not at all, young one. You can trust me. I know this land well. Come, I will take you to a safer place. Lumo, innocent and desperate, followed without question. They walked for a long time until they reached a small grove. There, in the middle of the clearing, grew a tall tree with ripe fruits hanging from its branches. Here, said the jackal, his eyes glinting, climb up, knock some fruit down, and we can share. These fruits are sweeter than anything you have ever tasted. The deer titled his head, unsure, but I cannot climb trees. My legs are not built for it. The jackal narrowed his eyes and sighed dramatically. Oh, how unfortunate! Then perhaps you can lower your head so I may jump on your back. From there, I will reach the lowest branch. Together, we will eat well. Trusting again, Lumo bent down. The moment he did, the jackal leaped, not for the fruit, but straight at the deer's neck. Sharp teeth grazed his skin as Lumo sprang back in terror. Realizing the danger, Lumo kicked hard with his strong legs and ran as fast as he could. The jackal chased, but the deer was swift. He darted through the trees and finally escaped, trembling but alive. When he reached safely, Lumo collapsed beneath a bush, his heart pounding. He whispered to himself, Foolish me, I believe too quickly. Not everyone who smiles is a friend. Some speak kindly only to hide their hunger. From that day, Lumo changed. He still listened to others, but he questioned, he observed, and he trusted his instincts before acting. My friends, this story of Lumo, the deer, carries a lesson deeper than it first appears. In life, we often meet people who speak sweetly, who act kindly, and who seem to care about our well being. But not every smile comes from the heart. Some words are traps in disguise. The jackal did not lie at first. He warned Lumo about the crocodiles. This is how deception often begins, with a small truth to earn our confidence. Our trust is gained, the marks drops, and the real intention is revealed. Many of us fall, not because the world is full of hunger, but because we put our faith in the wrong hands. Does this mean we should never trust anyone? No. Trust is necessary for friendship, for love, for working together. But wisdom lies in balancing trust with caution. Before believing someone's words, look at their actions. Before following their advice, test it against your knowledge and experience. Remember, everyone speaks from their own perspective, their own desires, their own interests. The camel in one story or the jackal in another, each speaks from their world, not yours. What is safe for them may be dangerous for you. What benefits them may harm you. That is why blind faith is dangerous, but thoughtful faith builds strength. So pause before you jump, observe before you follow, ask questions before you act. Listen carefully, but let your mind decide the final step. Because at the end of the day, it is you must face the consequences, not the one who gave the advice. Sometimes what looks like a blessing can be the start of a silent trap. This is the story of a village that learned too late the danger of trusting too easily. Long ago, beside a wide, shining river, there was a small village. The people there worked hard every single day. Men would rise before the sun to fish in the river. Women gathered firewood, cooked meals, and cared for the fields. Children carried water in clay pots, learning from their elders how to survive. Life was not easy, but the villagers were strong, skilled, and united. Every scar on their hands told a story of resilience. Every wrinkle on their faces showed wisdom earned through struggle. Every one evening, as the villagers sat together by the fire, the elders spoke, "Remember, my children, our strength is in our effort. If we stop working, we stop living." The people nodded, they respected his words, but deep inside, some wished life could be easier. One morning, boats appeared on the river. Strangers, dressed in fine clothes, stepped onto the shore. They carried baskets overflowing with bread, fruit, and sweet drinks. People of the village, they called out, "You work too hard. Look at you, sweating, struggling, always tired. Why suffer when life can be easy? Come, eat from our baskets, rest your hands, enjoy comfort." The villagers were amazed. They had never tasted such sweet fruits. Children laughed as they bit into the soft bread. Mothers smiled, relieved from the burden of cooking. The men looked at each other and thought, maybe we don't need to work so hard anymore. That night, the village celebrated for the first time. No one had to labor for food. The elder, however, stood apart, watching quietly. He whispered, "Be careful, nothing in life is free." Days turned into weeks. The strangers returned again and again, always bringing more food. The villagers stopped farming. The fields dried up. The fishing nets lay untouched by the river bank. Children no longer fetched water. They played all day, their small hands growing soft. Men who once carried heavy logs now spent hours sitting, laughing, and sleeping. Even the women forgot how to cook, for meals were always delivered. The village had changed. What was once a place of strength had become a place of laziness. The elder warned again. Many people listen. The more we depend on them, the weaker we become. Our hands are losing our strength. Our hands are losing their wisdom. And soon, our freedoms will also be lost. But the villagers laughed. "Old man," they said, "you worry too much. Look at us. We are happy, healthy, and free from struggle. Why go back to hardship when life is now so sweet?" The elder sighed deeply. He knew his words were seeds falling on barren soil. Months passed. One morning, the strangers arrived again, but this time their faces were different. No smiles, no kindness. They carried no baskets of food. From today, they announced, "You will work for us. If you want to eat, you must obey. Your land, your river, your lives now belong to us." The villagers froze in shock. Some protested, but their voices were weak. Their arms had lost their strength. Their farming tools were gone. Their skills forgotten. Hunger struck quietly. Without the strangers' food, they had nothing. Their fertile fields were dead. The river, once full of dead fish, was empty. They had become completely dependent. The elder stood before them and spoke with sorrow. Didn't I warn you? Comfort is never free. You traded your effort for air, your freedom for food. Now you see, the price is your very survival." Tears filled the villagers' eyes. They begged the strangers to let them go, but it was too late. Chains were placed on their hands. The once proud people of the village became slaves for those they trusted. The elder, however, had never stopped working his small patch of land. He still fished quietly each morning. He still grew vegetables in the corner of a field. His body was old, but his spirit was unbroken. When the strangers came to enslave him, he stood tall and said, "You cannot chain me. I never gave up my strength. I never forgot who I was." In the darkness of night, he escaped into the forest, leaving the village behind. Years later, travelers who passed the way saw the ruins of the village, silent huts, broken tools, and memories of people who once lived strong but died weak. Only the elders survived, and to those who listened, he would tell the story. Comfort is not always a gift, sometimes it is a trap. If you give away your strength for ease, one day you will have neither. Never trust what takes away from your effort, because effort is what makes you free. Strength is built in discomfort. Wisdom is forged in challenges. Freedom is earned through effort. So ask yourself, are you becoming too comfortable? Are you trusting something that may one day take away your strength? Remember, comfort can make us weak, but struggle keeps us alive.